figured out a great way to get rid of social anxiety, which I have struggled with for most of my life, and you probably have too. And I'm gonna explain it to you, but I just need to tell you a story first to just make it all make a little bit more sense. A few years ago, I went on a pretty long walk, and as I was returning, I saw this car on the road just standing there motionless, and lights were turned on, and inside there was an older woman sitting in the front seat just laughing, looking at the front, not looking at her phone or anything, just laughing, looking in front of herself in the middle of the road. And now this was like late at night, and it was in a small town, so there weren't any cars, and it wasn't really a dangerous situation. It was just weird to see. You don't see a situation like that every single day. So I was telling this to my friend, and he asked me, so what did you do? Well, I didn't do anything. I mean, I guess I could have went there and talked to her, and but that would have been uncomfortable, right? Even though it would make for a much better story. But it would be uncomfortable, right? Do you relate to this? Do you ever want to be the main character of the story, but you end up telling the story from a perspective of simply a spectator because you were just too afraid to go in there and get uncomfortable? Of course you do. Everybody wants to be that guy and say, I ran in there and I did this and I did that, but no, you didn't. You just stayed there and you watched. And now you might be a little bit motivated to actually become that guy. And honestly, if you were dropped on the street right now into a situation, you would probably even do something because you're motivated now. You just watch this video and you know that it's gonna make for a cool story. However, tomorrow, when you actually get into a story, you're not gonna remember this video, you're not gonna feel any motivation, you're not gonna care for a cool story, and you're just gonna be a spectator again. So how do you actually do it? How do you actually become the main character? Well, what if it's just like building any other habit? You know, when you get that 3 AM motivation and then you feel like you're gonna start going to the gym tomorrow, you set the alarm for 7 AM and you're ready to wake up early and to go do all the gym, running, whatever you wanna do, but then you wake up next morning and you don't feel like it anymore, you're just tired now, you're lazy now, you don't care. Well, how do we fix that? We use discipline instead of motivation. We don't do it because we feel like it, we do it because we know rationally that it's a good thing to do, so we just set up, we're gonna do this no matter how we're feeling. So what if becoming the main character is just like that? Use reason instead of emotions. You know that these uncomfortable situations are definitely not gonna kill you, right? Even though you might feel like it. And you know these situations are probably gonna make for a great story. So why not rush in there? If you know logically, well, you're scared, you feel emotions. Well, let's use reason now, not emotions. Do you remember the story that I told you a few minutes ago about the lady in a car? Well, I actually lied to you a little bit. As I was passing by that car, a video came into my mind that I watched a long time ago. It was a video by Sneako, back when everybody loved him, back when he was making those cinematic deep videos. The video was called It's Okay to Be Uncomfortable. In this video, he told a story about this crazy homeless guy who was asking for money and his interaction with the homeless guy, and the entire story was really interesting, but the point of the video was that it's okay to be uncomfortable because it's gonna make for a great story later.
No way I'm gonna tell the story as one of the bystanders.
And these words were crossing my mind as I was passing by the car, and I thought to myself, if I come up to that window right now and I start talking to the lady, that's gonna be uncomfortable, but it's gonna make for a great story. And so I did. And it turned out that she was drunk and she had a flat tire. Her friends were on the way. When her friends came, then later on police came and they had to drag her off the road. And it's a whole story for another time. The point is, I don't regret it. It was uncomfortable, yeah, it was awkward, it was really awkward, but I helped her as much as I could, and now I have a cool story. And these stories are nothing special, these are everyday things that you can experience anytime. And some of them you do, but some of them you miss out because anxiety, social anxiety, uncomfortableness, whatever. But these anxious, uncomfortable situations are nothing less but future stories, and stories are what makes life interesting. So if you approach an uncomfortable situation with this mentality that this is gonna be a great story later on, it's gonna be way easier for you. It's gonna be way more comfortable in a way. At least that's how it works for me. And look, it's training. Just like anything else, you have to work on it. You have to get into those situations and get better and better in, and it's gonna be more difficult at first, but later on it's gonna get better and better, and you're gonna become that guy, the main character, whatever you want to call it. And this mentality of looking at it as if it's a story, it's gonna make it way easier for you to actually start getting into these situations. There is a bonus tip that I forgot to add, so I'm recording this again, and that is this idea that I learned from Hamza, that he learned from some book, and that's just trying to write down the stories from your regular life. So if something happened today, you go back home, at the end of the day you open up a paper or a document on your computer or phone and you write down this story. Just write it down. You might not be the best storyteller in the world, but use skills that you do have and write the story as it happened. This will help you remember and notice the stories from your everyday life. It's gonna help you see your life more as a story, which is gonna make you more comfortable with these situations. And it's on the side going to improve your storytelling skills, which is also a W. And also think about this, when you're 30 years old, you're gonna cringe at your younger self no matter what. So might as well enjoy being a cringe kid. You have no options but being a cringe kid. The key takeaway from this video is that quote by Sneako, which is that it's okay to be uncomfortable. If you like this video, you might like my other videos, and there is a video that I made recently which is a little bit of a controversial opinion, if I may say so. So if you want to watch that, it's right here, just click on it. And whatever you decide to do, have a great day and God bless you, bro.